Look out for miscellaneous charges when you get the invoice from an auto repair shop. With the usual disclaimer that I am not a lawyer, the New York DMV has a page with a list of your rights in auto repair. This includes a bill of rights with an item for the invoice that says, I quote, "When repairs are completed, the shop must give you a detailed invoice listing each repair done, each part replaced, the cost for each, and the cost of labor." What we have here is an invoice from a friend who was given a $1,700 repair estimate when her car broke down on the side of the road. She was dealing with 2 young children, desperately needed her car to get to work the next day, so unfortunately was in a situation where someone could be taken advantage of, just approved the estimate, got the repair done, but then when she got the invoice, we noticed this suspicious line item for miscellaneous service. And as you can see, this item has quantity 4 for something that is over $250 per part with over $80 of labor per part. And it is not at all clear from the invoice or what the shop told her what that part actually is or what they replaced. And if you remember the language from the New York repair law earlier, the shop is required to give you a list of the parts that they replaced. So again, I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, yada, 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 normal disclaimer. But our interpretation of this invoice was that it was not meeting the requirement in that law because it is lumping something very expensive under miscellaneous without actually telling us what it is. So if you scroll down on that same DMV webpage, which we will link in the description, they do have a section about what to do if you have a problem. And while you can file a complaint in New York through the DMV, they do encourage you to attempt to resolve the issue with management of the business first. So that is what we did in this case. We called the shop and very politely asked for an explanation as to why there were over $1,000 in miscellaneous charges on the invoice. We find that you usually catch more flies with honey than vinegar, and it doesn't get you as far if you call and just start yelling at people right away. So after some fumbling about needing to look up part numbers and blaming one of his employees for a mistake, charging us for entire packs of ignition coils instead of individual ignition coils, the manager did admit that this was a mistake and escalated it to his district manager to get our money back without us even having to ask to speak to the manager and go full Karen about it. So clearly there is an argument that this may have been an intentional overcharge, and had we not caught it or said anything, it just would have gone through. But we are not going to name and shame the business in this video, just giving them the benefit of the doubt in case it was an honest mistake, which again, probably very unlikely, but we're not out to make a controversial YouTube video about a specific business. We just want you to be aware as a consumer about the rights you have, specifically in the state of New York. You will need to look up what your state's laws are if you're in another state. And even if you don't know anything about cars, if you approve the invoice, make sure you look at it for those miscellaneous service charges. If you have any similar stories or advice or have gone through a similar experience, please let us and other people know in the comments. Thank you.